This is Killswitch, and I'm interviewing Dan from Phenomenon
Hi.
Games, the makers of Meltdown. Uh, so Dan, just like to let you introduce yourself to the people.
Yeah, my name is Dan Bojan. I'm the CEO and creative director with Phenomenon Games. We make Meltdown. Meltdown is now available on Ouya, iOS, and Android on Google Play. And soon it will be also available on Steam, probably at the end of February.
All right. Well, now we know who Dan is, but let's get a little background on Dan. What were some of your favorite games growing up?
Well, I mean, my favorite game of all time, I think, was Fallout 1. That was released in '97. Was an isometric RPG. Then Fallout 2, Diablo, stuff like that. There's some great games from the '90s with which I grew up with.
Uh, the few games that you named sound like they may have been part of your inspiration for Meltdown.
Yeah, I mean, I love isometric games, and there aren't a lot of isometric games made right now. I mean, the only one that I remember in the last was Bastion. That also was a great inspiration for us when building Meltdown. And another old game that I would like to mention is Crusader No Remorse and Crusader No Regrets from 1995, 96, I think, was released. This was another isometric game, and it was an action game, not an RPG or something else.
All right, that's one that I'll have to check out. I haven't
Sure.
heard of it, or at least I don't remember it anyway. Um, so what made you decide to bring Meltdown to the Ouya? Because you said it's on Android, it's on iOS, so why did you bring it to Ouya?
Yeah, well, firstly because we wanted to have the gamepad controls, and we wanted to bring it to the big screen. That was a goal for us, and we want to, in the future, bring it to more consoles, to more experiences on the big screen. And because it was real simple for us to just build it for Ouya. All the SDKs are already done. We are making the game with Unity, and all the SDKs for Unity are already done by Ouya.
Yes, and you mentioned Unity, which we both know has easy portability to a lot
Yeah.
of systems. How long did it take you to port Meltdown over?
But I think it was only 1 week to port it to Ouya. But the thing is, we had all the controls already done for the PC version. We were testing the gamepad and also keys and mouse controls on the PC. So on the gameplay side, we didn't have to change anything. We only had to add the Ouya SDK for the in-app purchases, and we also added permanent saves to the Ouya local database.
Um, since you mentioned it, how do you feel about in-app purchases versus just a premium price?
Yeah, of course, I like a game that is pure premium, but right now it's a bit hard to compete with the other apps that are free to play, freemium, all that stuff. Everybody plays that, and there aren't. I don't know. That's where the current players on mobile are going for. They like to just download it, try it, play it, and that's another good thing for Ouya, that you can try any game. So you can just download it, try it. If you like it, buy it.
All right. Would you consider your game a success on Ouya?
I think so. I mean, I saw that the Ouya forum members voted Meltdown as the #1 game for last year. That's pretty crazy, and thanks for everybody that voted for us. We read that post.
All right. Of course, there are some questions from the forum.
Yeah.
Uh, People do want to know what to look forward to. We do have a member who mentioned that his kid saw the Santa beards and said Christmas is over. Anything you
Yeah,
want to add on that?
yeah, I know Christmas is over. Yeah, we wanted to bring a more uh, bigger update, and we are now working on the bosses, and we want to bring the update with the bosses. We didn't just want to bring an update to just remove the beard and the red hat. So that's why we haven't yet removed it. We have a new update that is coming next week that will feature three new bosses and a lot of bug fixes to the multiplayer and other stuff. So yeah, that's why you're still seeing Santa in game right now.
Alright, because there are a few other questions since you mentioned updating,
Yeah,
possible DLC. Uh,
yeah.
One member mentioned a possible Neon Shadow skin. Now, I don't know if you guys talk to Tasty Poison and, exchange ideas, but would that be something you'd consider?
Yeah, definitely. We are also working on bringing armors and accessories and player customization to the game. And we haven't yet got in touch with Tasty Poison, but we want to. We should do that. Bring a
Alright.
shadow armor into Meltdown.
Alright. Speaking of armor, um, will there be any armor changes, headgear? I know you posted a picture of a few possible
Yes.
changes.
Yes, we want to bring a new armor system so the player can choose their body armor, their head armor, and also some accessories for the head, like eye patches or sunglasses, stuff like that. Maybe even mustaches or more funny stuff.
Well,
And the armors will also have different stats. So some armors might give you more armor or shields. Some armors might make you faster or give you more ammo, stuff like that. They won't be just for looking better. They will also help you in the game.
all right. And what about the possibility of you becoming one of the enemies, like the commando or the biped?
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's funny because how we made the game, our player controller component can also be used to control the enemies. So we had a bit of fun trying to play as the enemies. We might do something in the future, but I know it's a lot of game design that has to be done to implement them in a good way, in a way everybody can have fun. Maybe some kind of
Okay.
versus mode when I know maybe some players can invade some other players and play as the enemies. We are thinking about that.
Okay. Sounds like you guys have a lot of plans for the future of
We have
Meltdown.
a lot of ideas, but I don't know if we have to try that. We don't know if that will work or it will be just. Um, it must be fun. We have to try it. But the ideas we have a lot of them.
All right. Well, there was another question on the forum about Borderland style loot.
Oh, yeah. The thing is, we thought about loot when we first started working on the game, but that would be a bit too complicated for the players. I mean, we want a very fast game. You don't have a lot of time to just pick up loot and check it and exchange weapons while you are playing with other four players and trying to get to the exit. That's why we added the chips. The chips kind of act like loot. You know, you can upgrade stuff with the chips, buy new weapons with the chips. That's why we added that. So I don't think in Meltdown we're going to add loot in the future. It would make the game more complex, and we like to keep it simple and fun.
Okay. Was there anything that you might have done differently with the game?
With the game as gameplay and stuff like that, I don't think so. It's like the best game that we could done by now. But one thing that I would love to change was We released the Android Google Play version for free as freemium, and I think it should have been premium, not premium, because it didn't work out that well for us, and we did it only because of the piracy on the Android Google Play. That's why we tried to make it free to play, but the game is not meant for free to play. We always did it as a premium game, and that's why I don't like the free to play version that much.
So then, from the sounds of it, it sounds like you might do future games on Ouya if possible.
Yeah, if possible, of course. I mean, I wouldn't make an exclusive game for Ouya right now, maybe in the future when the user base is bigger. But if you have a multi-platform game, yes, of course, bringing it to Ouya, especially if you're using Unity and you already developed the Android version, bringing it to Ouya is very simple. I will do that in the future, yes.
All right. Speaking of that, what do you think that Ouya can do to improve on either increasing the users or marketing? Any something that you think they can improve on?
I know it's marketing and stuff like that. I would, as a user and as a player, I would like something like a social system, a chat system, a friend system to be in place in the menu. So, I can invite my friends into my Meltdown game maybe, or chat with them, or maybe even voice chat, stuff like that. That's what I would love. And on the hardware side, maybe a faster graphics card in the future. Other than that, yeah, the system is close to perfection for indie developers.
All right. Since we're speaking developer to developer, how do you feel about the guys who say they're not going to waste their time on Ouya and things like that, or they won't port their game, even though if they use Unity, it only takes a week, maybe two, maybe a month at the
Yeah.
most. But how do you feel about that when other developers treat it like it's an afterthought?
I don't know, it depends. I mean, if you're a really big developer and are making a lot of money on the other platforms, it's not that important to bring to the Ouya. And also, if you already have a big your game is a big brand, everybody knows it, you don't have to bring it to the way. You are generating enough income from the other platforms. But if you're an up and coming indie developer like us, it's really great and you should do that because it also helps with visibility. I mean, the Ouya guys are always promoting their games and sending out newsletters and promoting stuff on YouTube and Twitter, and and for us after we put the game on, we have a lot of other platforms reached out to us to try to put the game on their platform.
Speaking of visibility, I can't remember what show it was, but there was a video game award show where Meltdown made it into the video. Did you happen to
Uh,
see that?
no, I have no idea. Where is that?
It's somewhere on Ouya forum. It was posted. I'll
Really?
have to send that to you.
I haven't seen that. No, you have to send it to me. Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, that
Did
could be
we
your
did
calling card.
did we win anything?
I never checked. That's something I need to look into. I don't remember if it was just to show off the game or if you were
Oh,
in it. I'll have to check on that.
okay. Please send it to
Alright.
me too. It would be cool.
Alright. Man, we pretty much covered just about everything about the game so far. But you also have DLC plans, and you mentioned something to me, which the members of the forum may not know yet. You're also planning an update for next week.
So next week, yeah, for next week, the three bosses are gonna come. After that, at the end of February, we want to bring the armors and the armor system and all that stuff. We are also thinking about adding an arcade mode for local multiplayer, so you can play with your friends. For that, we want to uh, disable the shop, because when you have four players on the same screen, you cannot change a lot of stuff in the shop. I mean, it's really impossible. So we are making the arcade mode, in which we are going to have pre-made characters with armors and weapons and stuff like that, and each player can choose their character and play with it. And other than that, there will be the same missions, the same bosses, the same stuff. Only the shop will go away for the arcade mode, and you will have pre-made characters. Also, you have
Okay.
planned on the end of February the Steam launch. We are going to be on PC, Mac, and Linux. After that, will start working on a DLC. We have 10 more missions planned, new boss, and 5 new weapons. That will probably come as DLC. The 10 missions, boss, and 5 new weapons as paid DLC, extra content for the game.
Okay. Well, I feel like I have an unfair advantage. You sent me a picture last week, which is right now my wallpaper.
Yeah.
So, do we have something that we could actually
Yeah.
show the members of the forum?
Okay, I was thinking about showing everybody the three bosses, or at least a preview. The AI for them is not yet activated, but I can show you how they will attack you and how they will look like in game. Let me just share this with you. Okay. 1 second. It's loading up.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, you should see the game window right now.
Yep, there we are.
Okay, so we have, these are the three new bosses. The first one will be this Barrager boss. Let's show the attack. So firstly, he has a mortar attack. It goes like this. So you'll have to dodge them. Then the guy will have a melee attack, but the melee attack is different from the other enemies because he does an explosion with area of effect. So it's gonna be a bit hard to get close to him. And the last one, the last attack for this one, let me just move him a bit back. He will have this cool spin attack that will follow you with. And he will try, and after it, he gets stunned. So that's the Barrager. He's gonna be really fun in multiplayer, I think. Then let's move to the next one, which is this one, the Enforcer. As you see, he has the shield in the front, so he takes no damage right now. I mean, you could break the shield, but it has a lot of health. But if you shoot him from the back or the sides, it takes more damage. So that would be real cool in multiplayer if you have somebody in the front taking the aggro and making the boss attack him and the other player shoot him in the back. But he does have a special kind of attack. Let me just show you, because he fires this plasma cannon, but the plasma cannon actually homes in on players. So when he shoots, the plasma ball will come after him. Oh, he's gonna kill me or not. Okay, this is the Enforcer. And the last one, this will be the last boss in the update, is the Electrocutioner. And he has a lot of tricks. So firstly, he has the attack, the main attack, which is a double chain lightning attack. So it will be real hard to get in front of that. Then he also has melee with area of effect, but he electrocutes you, and then he can follow that up with the shockers. And lastly, let me just move him back. He has a vortex with which he can pull you in. So you'll just start the vortex, and if you're in range, it will pull you towards him. So this guy is more of an closed range melee attack kind of guy. So he always tries to bring you closer and electrocute you and then zap you with the shockers. So I think this also will be real fun in multiplayer. So yeah, these are the new bosses. We really thought about them a lot and how they will act in multiplayer. That was the main focus for us for the bosses, and I hope everyone will have fun. Also, they will have new arenas, and the AI for them will be a bit special. So,
So
not
there,
not not revealing everything right now for
so there
them.
will be new arenas too with the new bosses.
Yeah, each boss will have his own arena. And another thing since yesterday that I can show you. Let me just stop this. Uh, I will show you some of the new head accessories that we have. Let me see. So, okay. So these are the new head accessories that we are going to bring at the end of February. Have a lot of ways you can customize your character with caps or bandanas or cowboy hats. And we will also have this Phenomenon logo mask that I think we are going to have an Easter egg or a secret for unlocking the mask, the Phenomenon mask.
Oh, that's a lot of choices there.
Yeah, and we also have all the armors that we posted on the forum, so you can combine them in a lot of ways.
Okay. Is there anything else we should be looking forward to next week?
Uh, yeah, we also did a lot of bug fixes, especially for the multiplayer. We made it a bit more challenging because in the old version of the multiplayer, the version that is now on Ouya, all the bots are controlled by the server, by the user that is the server, and that introduces a lot of lag. And the players that are the clients usually it's easier to play as the client because the bots won't home in on you and they won't attack you and won't be so accurate against you. And in this update, we made it so that the enemies run on each player's local machine. So the players that are targeting you will run on your machine, and the players that are targeting another player will run on their machine. So it's going to be more accurate.
Okay. There's something I just thought of. One of the forum members mentioned this, something about changing colors. But now that you have all these new costumes and all that, I don't even think it's necessary.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna change that because in multiplayer, if all the players are choosing the same color, I mean, if they all are blue, it's gonna be a bit hard to find your player. It's gonna cause a lot of confusion. That's why we are sticking to each player has its own color, like blue and red and green and yellow. That's the reason behind that. Maybe in the future we will allow to change the hair colors or something like that, but not the main color. The main color will stay for each player hard coded.
Okay. Well, Dan would like to thank you for the interview. Is there
Thanks for having me.
is there anything you would like people to know? Launch date, DLC, anything at this point?
Yeah, so the Steam version is the most important thing, the most important release in the future that I can announce right now. And the Steam version will come at the end of February on PC, Mac, and Linux. And after that, we are also looking into other platforms. So we'll announce that at a later date.
So basically, you're planning to take over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Nah.
thank you for the interview. I'm sure the forum members will appreciate hearing from you, and hopefully,
Anytime.
you're the start of many more interviews.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks.
All right, so that was Dan from Phenomenon Games.